Is buying a duplex really a good investment? Is that where you should start? Or should you start on a completely different project? All that and more coming up. Should you invest in a duplex? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 reasons why everybody should own a duplex, or any size multifamily for that matter. Let's get to it. The first reason investing in multifamily is a great idea is it lets you test out multifamily real estate with not as much risk. It lets you start building the muscles of collecting money from tenants. What if a tenant moves out? What if a tenant needs to be evicted? How do you manage mowing the lawn? How do you manage the driveway when there's multiple tenants at play and everybody's using those services? This allows you to start building teams and systems that handle these issues and answer these questions so you can just make money every month rather than worrying about all of these specific issues. The go big or go home mentality is not welcome here. I do not believe that if you don't go big, you should just go home. I think sometimes going too big early will hurt you and sink your ship before you ever get started. And what I want you to do is build your muscles before you get into a 10, 20, 30, 40 unit building. I want you to prep your real estate business before you had too many units for it to handle. I love to work out, but you'd call me crazy if I laid on the bench press and I put on way more weight than I've ever lifted before and just lifted it off the bar as the weight came screaming towards my chest. You'd say that's stupid. And yet we hear this message in multifamily real estate all the time. Go big or go home. We would never say that to somebody in the weight room. They'll hurt themselves. And yet in investment, it's a good idea. My friends, no, it's not. What we want to do is get you into investments that match the capital you have access to, that match your skill set, that match the teams you've built, that match the systems you have, that match if you have a property manager or not. Getting into a duplex gives you a great way to build up those muscles before we go to the next and bigger and better property. But it also allows you to strengthen your underwriting skills. It allows you to strengthen the skills of counting expenses and income and managing money so you know if a property's really going to be successful or not. Especially when you get further down your career, your ability to look at the numbers and know if it's a good investment will be one of the most important skills you ever acquire. And by getting into a duplex first, it allows you to really work on your underwriting skills and strengthen those so as you do bigger properties, you're already a pro. The other thing I would say in investing in a duplex is don't look so much at unit count as you look at the return on investment. Now, I would say continually staying under 10 units for your first investment is a great place to start. But remember, the process is the same no matter the size of the building. I want your skill set to determine what size building you invest in, not your ego or what some guru said you should be investing in. Your skill set needs to determine it. Now, that being said, unit size should match skill set, because the process is the same. If you're going to invest in a 2 to a 4 unit, process is the same from an 8 to a 10 unit. You need to underwrite the income. You need to underwrite the expenses. You need to get a loan. You might need to raise some private capital. You need to pick a market. All of those things are the same whether you're investing in a 2 unit or a 20 unit. The third reason I love investing in small multifamily buildings and duplexes, and I think you should too, is because it protects you from having to pay the bills. You say, Mike, what does that mean? Because on a single family home, when that tenant moves out, who's paying that bills? You are, because nobody else is there to cover those expenses. In a duplex, one tenant moves out, you still have a tenant curbing those expenses, so they all don't need to come out of your bank account. A duplex is a great place to start, but even as you get into bigger multifamily, one of the biggest benefits is when one tenant moves out, you're not out revenue. You're not at zero revenue. You still have other tenants paying that rent every single month. Have you had any experiences buying a duplex or a small multifamily building? If so, put in the comments your experience, what you experienced, how did your journey go, and maybe some questions you had along the way. I'd love to see your journeys. And the fourth reason I think investing in a duplex is a great investment is you can make $500 or more on net return every single month. You can invest in one duplex and have $500 show up to your house every single month, whether you do anything or not. I love that about multifamily. And that doesn't matter if you're investing in a 2 to 4 unit building, which is considered residential, or a 5+ unit building, which is considered commercial. But even if it's a duplex that you start in, you can start making $400, $500, $600, $700 a month, depending on your return, every single month. This is a really, really powerful financial building tool because the truth of the matter is most of us are looking to replace our income so that we can live a life of financial freedom. Well, duplexes allow you to do that. 3 units, 4 units, bigger multifamilies, they allow you to do that because they bring money in every single month. They bring money in whether you're there or whether you're not. They bring money in whether you have a property manager doing all the work or whether you don't. It's like having an employee that you don't have to pay but pays you instead. That's my favorite thing about owning small multifamily buildings. And it opens up the access to everybody. You maybe have never invested in real estate before. You do not have to invest in a single family home just because you're new to this whole game. You can start with a duplex. It's a great place to start. And in my opinion, it's a safer place to start than a single family because again, if that tenant moves out, you still have somebody paying your bills. So if you're thinking about getting into multifamily real estate, a duplex or a small multifamily is a great place to start. Allows you to build those muscles. It minimizes the risk. And that's what I want to do for you. I want to make sure you get into the game in a way that can sustain your success over the long haul. A duplex was my first investment, and that investment turned out to be an amazing investment for my family. In fact, I look back, that was probably my favorite investment because it was what got me started. It was the first investment I can look back, and I did that, and I accomplished that, and man, when I walked away from that project, it was such a moment of pride. I was so proud of that was my very first real estate deal. So I say that to say it was one of my favorite investments, and it was a duplex that we were able to live in half and rent that other half out. So a duplex is not something that you invest in only if you can't go bigger. It's often a great place to start to build those muscles so you can go bigger. I really believe this is a good option for you, and everybody should at least ask the question, should I invest in a duplex? I want to gift you our free multifamily mastery training. If you go to the description, you'll see a link there that'll take you to our free training that'll walk you through how to really break into the multifamily game in a sustainable way. How do you find deals? How do you find money? How do you really grow a portfolio to replace your income so you can live life on your terms? One of my favorite trainings I've ever done. Make sure you click that link. I'll see you in the training.